Welcome to TPM Vids, where we talk all about theme parks and more. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. You can also find us on all your favorite social media platforms. Over in the Netherlands, you can find Efteling. It's the second most visited theme park in Europe after Disneyland Paris. Efteling opened in 1952 as a fairy tale nature park, and today, it's evolved into a fantasy theme park, sprawling over 180 acres. The park is beautiful and it has so much charm. All the rides and attractions bring many different fairy tales, folklore, ancient myths, and legends to life. There's everything in this park, from slow-moving dark rides to water rides, thrilling roller coasters, walk-through experiences, and so much more. Even the trash cans are themed. This is a nursery rhyme character named Hole Bole Haze, who was hungry all the time and couldn't stop eating. Here, he eats your garbage. The park is just so unique and so European. It has impeccable theming, and it's filled with so much whimsical fun. There is so much to do and see, and I loved every second of my time here. So today, let's explore my list of the top 10 best rides and attractions at Efteling. Number 10. When it comes to a park like Efteling, there are so many unique experiences you won't find anywhere else. One that I wouldn't miss out on is Volk Von Laff. It's the small village named Lavinlar, inhabited by the Laff people. These are them. They're really interesting looking, but they have this European charm, don't you think? As you explore the village, you get to see them going about their daily business. Now, there are two ways to see everything, either by foot or with the monorail. The monorail ride takes about 5 minutes to go around the entire circuit, and it does give you a nice bird's eye view of the village. I mean, talk about immersive theming. It's a great way to scope out areas you'd want to explore by foot. Now, when you're on the ground, you are able to see a lot more of the Laff people. There's everything in here from a schoolhouse to a bakery, and even this factory where it looks like they're making some sort of juice or potion or something. There is so much detail put into everything, so do not miss out on Volk Von Laff. Number 9. The next ride on the list is gonna take us into this beautiful Moroccan palace. When you enter the courtyard, you might be greeted by a giant gin puppet. It is massive and the performers are very entertaining. But as you make your way to the back of the courtyard, you'll find Fata Morgana. It's a water-based dark ride themed to the tales of 1001 Arabian Nights, and it is truly magical. Once you board your boat, you'll enter a lush jungle before your encounter with a wizard. With a snap of his wand, he magically transports you into a forbidden Arabian city. With these detailed and immersive sets, everything comes to life with the help of 140 animatronic figures, a catchy soundtrack, and different scents in each scene. It smelt fantastic in here. Now, since Fata Morgana opened in 1986, some of the animatronics are a bit janky, but the ride has a certain charm to it. It was sort of nostalgic in a way, even though I had never been on this ride before. It was a really bizarre feeling, but I loved the ride. Now, the great thing about this ride system is that everything is timed, so it's always just your boat in the scene. It made the ride feel just that much more intimate and immersive. With a ride time of just over 7 minutes, Fata Morgana is the perfect way to explore the tales of 1001 Arabian Nights. Number 8. Just across the way from Fata Morgana, you'll find Max and Moritz. This powered family coaster opened in 2020, and it's currently the newest ride at Efteling. It's based on the German tale of Max and Moritz, who are these two mischievous little pranksters. The theming is super quirky, but before you get to the load station, you need to decide if you want to do the Max or Moritz track. Once you get to the Cuckoo Clock Workshop, you'll see Max and Moritz are definitely up to no good. Then as you leave the station, an onboard soundtrack sets the tone for the entire ride. It honestly makes the experience just that much better. It's a catchy little tune. Both tracks feature a series of twists and turns, but it's nothing too wild. That's until the train passes through the station again, increasing momentum and reaching a top speed of 36 kilometers or 22 miles per hour. The tempo of the music also changes, which makes the ride feel just that much faster. But really, it's not that intense at all. I personally like the max side a bit better, but both are a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend trying each of them if you can. With a ride time of about 1 minute and 20 seconds, Max and Moritz is a perfect coaster introduction for the younger ones. Number 7. Standing 26 feet tall, it's hard to miss the giant rock bird, which is home to Vogel Rock. The ride opened in 1998, and it's a fully enclosed indoor steel roller coaster manufactured by Vekoma. Vogel Rock is actually based on the second voyage of Sinbad the Sailor. In the story, he encounters a giant rock bird, then ties himself to the bird's leg. Now, once you're seated in the train, the ride allows us to experience Sinbad's flight on the bird. Apparently, it was a night flight, so expect a very dark but very fun coaster. Reaching speeds of up to 65 kilometers or 40 miles per hour, get ready for an exhilarating 2 minutes full of twists, turns, and helixes through the dark. It actually feels a lot faster than what it is. The track layout is pretty tame, but the onboard soundtrack adds that extra layer of excitement to the ride. If you're looking for a bit more thrill, then I'd suggest doing the back since it did feel a bit more intense. The line was never really that long either, especially near the end of the day, so it is possible to get a couple of rides in on Vogel Rock. Number 6. St. Nicholas Square is home to one of the most unique and charming dark rides at Efteling. Droomvulvht, otherwise known in English as Dream Flight, is a suspended dark ride that opened in 1993. It's truly a magical 6-minute flight filled with pure zen and wonderment. You start by passing through the castle realm. Here, 4 beautiful castles move in such a way that foreshadow the magic that's in store. Before you know it, you're taken right out of reality and placed in the wondrous forest. Here you'll find many different fantasy creatures like fairies, trolls, elves, talking trees, and so much more. The level of detail is remarkable, and it continues on into the other scenes. I mean, the ride is literally a fever dream, but in the best possible way. Now, as you slowly make your way around the track, you'll also smell the environment. And that's one of the great things about Efteling. Almost all their major rides use smells to further enhance the experience. Now, the most unexpected part of the ride is the final 42-foot spiral freefall through the forest. It's not overly fast or anything, but you will reach speeds of up to 20 kilometers or 12 miles per hour. A troll swings from a vine, there's rain, more trolls, a pond, detailed sets. I mean, there's everything here. You cannot miss this ride. Number 5. The next ride on the list is Yores and the Drek, which is a GCI wooden racing coaster. It opened in 2010, and it's honestly one of the smoothest wooden coasters I've been on so far. Now, the ride is inspired by the tale of St. George and the Dragon. The dragon can actually be seen while you're on the ride, but you do get a better view of the animatronic from the ground. Now, the 2 tracks you can choose from are Water and Fire. They both start off the same, but they are not identical mirrored layouts, making this more of a dueling coaster. Each of them offers good pacing and some really nice moments of airtime. As it whips you around the corners, you'll reach speeds of up to 75 kilometers or 46 miles per hour. It's non-stop speed for the entire 2-minute ride. It's a lot of fun. The interaction between the 2 tracks also adds a lot of excitement, especially when you come back together for the final run to the finish line. I also love the thematic elements on this coaster. It's nothing over the top, but it's enough to set the tone. Like when the winning train comes back into the station, it lowers the banners to celebrate the win, and there is music. These small thematic details really take the coaster to the next level. I think I enjoyed the fire track a bit more, but definitely make time to experience both sides to see which one you like better. Number 4. Just across from Yores and the Drek, you'll find De Villagend Hollander. In English, it translates to the Flying Dutchman, and this is a water coaster and dark ride hybrid that opened in 2007. Now, the story is based off the tale of the Flying Dutchman, which was a ghost ship in the 17th century. Once you enter the interior queue, you'll find yourself in the captain's house. It's all really detailed and it's such an immersive queue, but just be aware that if you use the single rider line, you'll miss all of this. Now, the loading area is themed to the harbor at night, giving these Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. It turns out the captain was actually practicing piracy, so it makes sense. Now, the ride begins as a classic dark ride, placing you in a storm on the sea before making your way to the Flying Dutchman ghost ship. Once you dive under the bow and ascend up the lift hill to the top, the doors open and you plunge down the 72-foot drop, reaching speeds of up to 69 kilometers or 43 miles per hour. The coaster section is extremely smooth, and there are a couple small moments of airtime. Before you know it, you'll be speeding around the bend and making your big splashdown in the lake. Now, when I rode, the splash never got you wet, but I feel like it depends on the temperature that day. This day was kinda cool. With a ride time of about 3 minutes and 45 seconds, De Villagend Hollander is filled with everything you could ask for in a thrill ride. Number 3. Over in the center of the park, you can find Symbolica. This trackless dark ride opened in 2017, and it's definitely the best dark ride at Efteling. Once you enter the pre-show, Pardoes, the park's mascot, interrupts the footman and casts a spell to take you on a magical tour of the palace.
What's happening with the stairs?
Now, once you're seated in your ride vehicle, you'll begin your journey to explore the many rooms of the palace, beginning in the observatory. One of my favorite rooms was stopping here in the botanical gardens. The level of detail is fantastic. Now, a unique aspect of Symbolica is that at the beginning of the ride, there are 3 different paths you can choose. There's the Music Tour, Treasure Tour, and Hero Tour. And depending on which tour you've chosen, your journey through the Fantasy Depot is unique. There are 3 different rooms and paths, giving you 3 completely different ride experiences. It really makes Symbolica another great one for re-rideability. Now, there is a single rider line, and although you do get to watch the pre-show, you can't choose which tour you want to take, so just keep that in mind. The great thing about this ride, though, is that no matter which tour you get, it's incredibly immersive. Unlike other dark rides at Disney where you look up and there's scaffolding and lighting, here on Symbolica, even the ceilings are themed. They've really taken the detail to new heights. It's a fully immersive experience in the palace. With a ride time of about 7 minutes, Symbolica is a really fun modern dark ride that you won't want to miss. Number 2. Not too far from Symbolica, you'll find the B&M dive coaster Baron 1898. The ride opened in 2015, and although the coaster is a pretty standard dive coaster, the theming takes this ride to the next level. Now, before you enter the pre-show, you'll be given a ticket with your group and row number, so be sure to hang on to this until you board. Now, the experience begins here, where Baron invites us to his mine, only to discover the gold is being protected by the spirits of the wise women. Now, as you continue your visit, Baron sees you on your way, but things still just aren't quite right. Once you board your train, you're taken into the boiler room, where the spirits of the wise women appear again. They warn us they'll sabotage the descent into the mine. That doesn't stop the train from moving forward though, and it proceeds to make its way up the 98-foot lift hill. The anticipation builds as you get closer and closer to the top. Here, you'll crest the edge, stalling for 3 seconds before plunging down the 131-foot drop. As you fly into the tunnel, be prepared to reach speeds of up to 90 kilometers or 56 miles per hour as you're propelled into an Immelmann loop. That's immediately followed by a zero-G roll into a helix. You'll definitely feel the wind in your hair. With a total ride time of 2 minutes, Baron 1898 is an exhilarating coaster, and you'll want to ride this one over and over again. Number 1. Sprookjesbos, otherwise known as the Fairytale Forest, is the heart and soul of Efteling. When the park opened in 1952, there was only the Fairytale Forest. It began with 10 fairy tales, and over the years, it's grown to feature 30 different stories, which covers 15 acres today. Now, in North America, we're used to Disney's happily ever after take on European fairy tales, but many of the original stories are actually dark. This not-so-happy tone is reflected in these many attractions here at Efteling. It's so unique to the European culture. You'll find many well-known stories like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Rumpelstiltskin, and Hansel and Gretel. To bring these 30 fairy tales to life, there are dozens of animatronic figures, immersive physical sets, and even special effects like the Pepper's Ghost effect. The newest story is The Six Swans, which made its debut in 2019. Here they use this mini swan ride. It takes you inside to tell the story of 6 brothers who are enchanted as swans, and their sister has to knit sweaters to free them. Pinocchio is another newer fairy tale which was added in 2014. They've staged a couple different scenes, but just make sure you stick around long enough to see everything happen. It's all continuous, but sometimes you need to wait a minute or two. Some of my other favorite fairy tales were Donkey Lift Your Tail, where it shoots a gold coin out of its behind. That's right. The Indian Water Lilies, which had this quirky animatronic show. The Emperor's New Clothes, and The Little Match Girl. The production quality of this one was top-notch. Now, everything is spoken in Dutch, so as you approach each fairy tale, you'll find this storybook that tells you the story in English, Dutch, French, and German. It definitely gives you a better understanding of what's going on. My advice would be to follow the main path and give yourself a good 2.5 to 3 hours to explore it all. Trust me, you'll need the time because there are so many surprises around every corner. So, have you ever been to Efteling? What are your thoughts on this European theme park? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.